Oh yeah, and by the way, if you want to see for yourself, the reason why I left is here. Before, see my eyes. But no phone. All those bottles already in my hands, and then I chose not to pick them up and down just to come with you so you can see there's nothing else. Maybe you want to go back holding them. Take your car volume. You're leaving this in a bag. There's no point of me carrying this to the mall. I'm even going to the mall today. As I said, if I pass those things out in front of them, they'll be visible, they'll be noticeable, it would have an argument, and it wouldn't be pure evidence, as it is now. Because the chances of this being the time where he didn't look in the cameras, or that I can't look at the cameras, that's great evidence because something happened there at night. That's the point. But it's not the chance of showing up exactly in a few seconds to talk if I didn't go there. That's why I put everything in my hands. So then I just pick you up. Then I put everything down to pick you up, the phone. Use the phone. Every time I say you, it doesn't understand. It's talking about the phone. Personalized that a long time ago, and it's something that kind of never went away. And I'm looking for the baby. because I am actually concerned about her. Okay. And after we're done with organizing this, we will start loading even with a generic name. Later on can come back and add a normal name. The thing for that actually was because there was some inspirational accounts of the bag that was leaked from the yogurt to make everything gooey. Everything here is pretty gooey. Stop you now. I'm breathing all today. I'm not stopping this thing because you just think. At this point, you're gonna have to do another layer. High. So, might as well do it now. Everything is favor. Because ideally we're no longer using this bag on this thing, the space on top is not going to happen. I bash the food of the time, food at a time, meaning the food that I use on the moment. Everything else goes in the other one. Which I tried to do before. No wasting time. Now one of a different color. I needed to have a different color so no one. Look at the back now. Improvising. not doing is wasting a long time going through it. That much better. If you don't know what happened, the yogurt from the top, which apparently was not bleached, but was bleached by someone, spilled yogurt things on the bag underneath. This would attract insects if left like this. You see how to do it. Washing is virtually impossible. Just gonna let it dry. As long as it dry, it takes longer, but it will dry. Single one in this one either. The sun and the other thing is too bright. Yes, I think it's dry. Again, not ideal, but I don't have the means of washing it now. Besides, I imagine it's gonna stay clean for too long. It would stay clean for too long. So remember that every time that she'll go after me, I will come back, and then she'll go after me, and I will come back, and I'll put her in place, and I'll leave her with the other one, and I was looking for her mom. Again, each level of worry to make sure that they stay safe, because I knew I had to go there for something that they did. And the recent part is that you know who they are now very explicitly through their own actions and very directly. What to say, no more bullshit. Which they think that they want. not only in general because of the results, but also because it's something they're trying to do to get me to very explicitly point the finger where it should be pointed, because they think that sounds too ridiculous to being presented to those things cold. And again, if at any point you find that any of this ridiculous, you just don't have any clue what happened before, because when this started today, or this month, or this year, or even last year. As I said, right now, you try, and then you have all the things that come overlapping. Oh, by the way, those terminals are looking at things before I came in. Before I went there the first time to pee. Not the first time. This is already the first time today, right? Anyway. Yeah, so another thing, she's one of the concerns is because she's not old enough to know what the dangers lie. And normally she has her mom there with her, but about to say. My eyes are itching there, and I scratch my eyes. It's a good sign of the things that they are throwing in the air, because we saw them doing that before, and yes, it is indeed their mouth. As I said, don't make full judgment. Notice how many times, and it's always down, right? Every single time it blows the focus down. It's because the issue is, if I blow it up, not the opposite. You can still see pretty well, right? It's probably not the correct one to the situation, but you can see pretty well. So you notice that they always keep doing that down. And for this entire time, they have not stopped messing with the phone for 1 minute. Which is why I mentioned that to you before. Like, if they want to technically tamper the data, they can do that at any point. When I'm playing a game, or watching YouTube video to cope with the crimes, or watching porn, as you see that. Not porn, I would say no, because they are busy watching porn with me. Gross as that is. Hopefully not with children too. Although you saw how they like to put children in their crimes. Their children in their crimes, which, as I said, at least for the faces you see, at least a check-up, a welfare check as it's called, should definitely be. It's more than advised for all those criminals with faces you see, to make sure that those children that you see being told to do what they do are actually safe. But they clearly saw that they're not above, hurting them, hurting animals, or anything else. Things that, as I said, people just normally would try to. I've been watching those body cam videos several times, and it's very important to see how anything from DUIs to other crimes, right, more serious crimes, not DUIs on serious, we're talking about like murders and premeditated murder, etc. And we're talking about one of the things that people think should mark more is not even like from the crime itself, although that's the obvious in front of everyone. The issue is how they emphasize, that those supposed details of, involving children, hurting children, in front of children, hurting animals for that matter. And again, in cultures, it just goes without saying, right? This is just something you don't do because A, it doesn't change anything at all. Almost as if it mattered more, and it doesn't, but almost as if it mattered more that killing someone in front of a child rather than just killing someone. Because you'll understand that whatever happens, even if you don't agree with the reasons, and you send them to jail either way, you would understand that there will be some reasons to do that. Again, we don't agree with those reasons. But to do that in front of a child just feels like wasteful, right? And as I said, if they're now involving children in the crimes and hurting animals as well, there are the people targets are disappointed. And yeah, you shouldn't be that concerned with the cats, even though there are other things that they did to me, including trust, including keeping my other things safe, and I am keeping the things safe, but I cannot stop thinking, she's so small. And again, she was probably asleep somewhere, but her mother didn't see since yesterday. I thought I saw her passing there in the back, but she wouldn't have run from me, so keep that in mind. I don't want to say seriously. Now also note that they're not here, right? This is also relevant. Whatever it was happening that I probably couldn't feel, or because of my mental state, I said, they keep throwing things on me, I couldn't notice. So there was something that caused it. The other baby, the black one, mama cat that was here, both of them I saw like recently as I was closing this. And the other one too. And again, the baby is I don't the least concerning yet is thinking pragmatically, like objectively speaking, because she probably just asleep somewhere. We're gonna have answer on that in a minute. When she gets hungry and wakes up. The issue is that it doesn't matter. I'm not only rational, I care, and my mother wasn't showing up, and I don't know what's happening. So again, one person. I had to go back to search for my phone each day, not like the messages. Again, if they didn't, we're gonna find out there. Whenever they stop, then you go back to search, we'll remove all the boards, and you go down there to see the only possible place, because it was inside that, right? And I looked up as well on the height. I'm thinking that now, but I know that I looked. I can look again. But I don't want to go back simply because I want the evidence of the fact that they would have come to me rather than anything else. And if I go too much, although I don't know how much I care about that, so probably not enough. Okay. Okay. Check on top. Yeah, that's on top. The things on the ground from Jelson directly, so you should see that confirmation of what I'm saying, but it doesn't matter. Not a place to be throwing out to begin with. Never happened before. So that is a plus side. that one. So, I keep doing that several times, just not on that place, because it's a pretty dumb place to do it. And if you see that as confirmation, as I said, didn't find anything on top, you're gonna touch that underneath, and if not, you already have a list of culprits compared to something that could have happened anywhere. Should have in a constrained, very restrictive list of criminals. And I'm gonna dive later when you have confirmation, not now, but if you have confirmation of something, on a couple extra things that come with this crime. Plain and simple. Once again, as being there, a random number calling me. The number is available in screenshot 56. Actually, I can read this one. It's in here. So this one is 9501222, which might be a real number or probably not. And the other one is 21-95914-8269, which might be a real number, might be not. If you're a real number, that's guaranteed involvement in this period. So check on those numbers, it's pretty good as well. That's a YouTube video, so numbers are numbers. I'm literally reading the numbers. It's not an arbitrary random one. What else? But yeah, that's also going to be verbalized later. Because the argument is that I've been here a while, and very frequently I often throw this leftover killed things in places, but never on that place in particular, as you see in videos. Quite simple. If you did, it would just stay there, right? Because I never threw it out, and I will not print out this one. And you get to see the involvement, not to today's crime only, but to how we made it possible on Saturday, which is how we're gonna upload it as such. As a matter of fact, uploading as such is what we're starting right now. So there you go.